Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Yesterday, the SEC filed an opposition to Ripple's motion to strike new expert material. So I'll just tell you right at the outset that basically Ripple is telling the judge that the SEC lied about a particular witness. And so if Judge Netberg, and by the way, just to be clear, when I say lied, my words, not Ripple's. That's how I'm characterizing it, because I think that the SEC, those asshat prick attorneys, are up to no damn good. They know that they're saying things consistently that are not true. I'm just going to call it like I see it. But Ripple's attorneys obviously much more, professional. But look, if Judge Netberg finds that the SEC acted inappropriately here yet again, then the court could rule against the SEC for not complying with discovery requirements. And I'll give you the whole rundown in terms of what that means. First I'm going to quickly run through this because this is kind of big news and it just happened this afternoon. Headline on your screen here from CNBC. Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, or CZ for short, sentenced to 4 months in prison after plea deal. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby, and just for fun, damn it. If you don't like it, well, you can just get out. All right, so let's touch on this real quick, and then I want to get right into the Ripple-related stuff as quickly as possible here, but check this out. Binance's billionaire founder CZ was sentenced to 4 months in prison on Tuesday after pleading guilty to charges of enabling money laundering at his crypto exchange. You had the wherewithal, the finance capabilities, and the people power to make sure that every single regulation had to be complied with, and so you failed at that opportunity, U.S. District Judge Richard Jones said to Zhao in a Seattle federal court, according to a Reuters report. The sentence handed down to the former Binance chief was significantly less than the 3 years that federal prosecutors had been seeking for him. The defense had asked for 5 months of probation. The sentencing guidelines called for a prison term of 12 to 18 months. Yeah, so I'll tell you, if you consider that, 4 months, the guidelines call for 12 to 18, hey, I mean, all things considered. But I will say this, like, it strikes me in a certain kind of way here, because CZ, fine, he admitted to wrongdoing here. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of malicious intent whatsoever. This is not a Sam Bankman-Fried type of situation here. But again, he admitted fault. There aren't any actual, customers of Binance that have actually been harmed. I've seen no claims of that even here. But it's just kind of funny to think, like, imagine if I told you just 2 years ago that if you fast forward the 2 years, that you would have the CEOs of Binance and FTX in prison in the United States. Can you imagine? Like, if I used to be like, Moon Lambeau, you out your damn mind. That's exactly what you'd tell me. But this is real life. Here we are. Now, in the case again of Binance CEO CZ, well, former CEO, he stepped down obviously, but much different case than SBF. That cucumber loving son of a bitch. That guy's scum. He's I'm sure you guys heard the news obviously that broke however many weeks ago. He's in prison for 25 years. Much heavier sentence. Now I wish that he'd gotten more, but it's not nothing. It is something. Anyway, piece continues. I'm sorry, Zhao told the judge before receiving his sentence, per Reuters. I believe the first step of taking responsibility is to fully recognize the mistakes, Zhao reportedly said earlier Tuesday in court. Here I failed to implement an adequate anti-money laundering program. I realize now the seriousness of that mistake. And so this is obviously being widely discussed in the world of crypto on social media platform X in particular. Have you seen this picture of CZ before? Where he's holding up 4 fingers? Well, there's a thing behind this. And so he's holding up 4 fingers. I'll explain the meaning in just a second here, but it's interesting because, as pointed out by on-chain analyst Will Clemente on your screen here, he wrote on X, Binance gets a $4 billion fine. CZ gets 4 months in prison. We live in a simulation. And so here's him holding up 4 fingers because that's a thing for him. And so the meaning's on your screen right here, and it reads as follows. It's real short. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao tweeted a series of New Year's resolutions one of which was to ignore FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, fake news, and attacks on Binance. Following a volatile year in the crypto markets, CZ wrote a post on Twitter on the second day of the year explaining that he would try to keep 2023 simple and spend more time on fewer things. After listing the 3 do's, including education, compliance, product, and service, he added a number 4 of 1, which is don't, the word don't, which was to ignore FUD, fake news, attacks, etc. He finished the tweet by asking his followers to link back to this tweet when he tweets 4 in the future. And so that's what that means. And I didn't really remember what that meant. I think I had some vague memory of this from over a year ago. But I always see the number 4. I'm like, yeah, he's doing the 4 thing with the fingers again. So it is kind of funny that he got 4 months, roughly a $4 billion fine for Binance. Simulation much? I'm not saying I actually believe that, but it is like quite the coincidence, right? Either that or the judge has a very sick sense of humor. So, into the latest from the Ripple case now. In latest Ripple v. SEC update, SEC wants court to deny Ripple's motion to strike. The SEC has filed a motion opposing the request from Ripple to strike Andrea Fox's declaration. According to an update shared by seasoned defense lawyer James K. Filan, the Securities and Exchange Commission has filed its opposition to Ripple's motion to strike. The SEC submitted the motion yesterday in accordance with the court's recent scheduling order. Last week, Ripple filed a motion asking the court to disregard the testimony and supporting evidence submitted by the SEC in support of its opening remedies brief. The testimony was issued by top SEC accountant Andrea Fox, who provided an arithmetic report on Ripple's financial records. At the time, Ripple characterized Fox as an expert witness and not a summary witness as claimed by the SEC. As a result, the crypto payments company contended that the SEC should have tendered her declaration during the discovery phase of the Remedies litigation. So here, Ripple is claiming that the SEC is trying to pull a fast one yet again, and they're lying liars, so I wouldn't be surprised if indeed this is the case anyway. But, the implications of this could be of particular consequence now that we're in the remedies portion of this lawsuit. Because, I mean, if this was something that was supposed to be covered in the discovery phase, which is towards the very beginning part of the lawsuit, and then you try and sneak it in here at the end, if indeed that is what's happening here, it's, I'll just say this: the judge, this is being reviewed by Judge Netburn, the magistrate judge. Basically, I always called her throughout the lawsuit the little helper judge of Judge Torres, who actually rules and everything. But Judge Netburn is going to be taking a look at this. Judge Netburn is the one that gave the scathing line. What was the line exactly? Lacks a faithful allegiance to the law. That judge. So she's the one that's going to be seeing this here. So if it doesn't pass the smell test, she isn't exactly inclined to be kind to them, would be my guess anyway. But if the SEC indeed is trying to pull a fast one here to get more information in than would otherwise be allowed, she's going to sniff that out. Anyway, peace continues. While the SEC claimed that Fox is a summary witness, Ripple argued that summary witnesses are not allowed to offer new information after the close of discovery. Hence, Ripple asked Magistrate Sarah Netburn to strike Andrea Fox's expert materials. In its latest filing, the SEC asked the court to deny Ripple's request, emphasizing that the company mischaracterized Fox as an expert witness instead of a summary witness. As a summary witness, the regulatory agency argued that Fox did not issue her testimony based on specialized experience, nor render any opinions in the report. According to the SEC, the report only streamlined the presentation of Ripple's audited financial record to Judge Annalisa Torres using basic arithmetic operations. Furthermore, the regulatory agency also noted that Fox only followed the instructions of its legal counsel and did not provide an opinion on whether institutional clients suffered pecuniary harm on their XRP purchases. It is worth noting that the issue of whether Fox is a summary or expert witness is imperative to the case. The findings will determine whether or not the court would strike Fox's declaration. If the court considers Fox an expert witness, it could rule against the SEC for not complying with discovery requirements and tendering the report during the discovery to enable Ripple respond or counter the argument. However, if declared a summary witness, it is up to the court to determine whether Fox offered new information which could significantly affect the outcome of the Remedies litigation. And so, folks, in terms of how bad a penalty may end up being for Ripple, this could be of particular importance here. So there's something at stake here. Now, of course, as I've been pointing out with all this stuff at this stage in the trial, as far as pertains to XRP, I still don't think this matters. I'm still reporting this because I think that as an XRP community, we should see this thing through the, like, I feel like I should be reporting this to the end anyway, but there's obviously still very genuine interest. And some people disagree and they think that this is going to be important for the price of XRP once this thing's settled. And like, I mean, if the market's exuberant enough, but I'll just tell you this, it doesn't actually matter. Maybe you get a little bump and then it goes, the market adjusts back to where it would have otherwise been. I have a hard time thinking that this is actually going to materially matter here. So anyway, that's the latest. You guys can tell me what you think, but I don't think that in the end, because like the biggest thing that mattered for us obviously happened July 13th last year. XRP does have regulatory clarity. It is not a security. It's declared by the court, so we're good. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, I guess it's a small chance it's possible. XRP starts rocketing once this thing's settled. As long as it's not terribly detrimental for Ripple, I suppose it's in theory possible. If you have a hot enough market and XRP is probably going to go anyway, and that this is the thing that triggers it, I guess, okay, fine. But I don't think it materially matters in any sort of way beyond that. Anyway, I'll wrap up here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.